So let's talk about fitness because I've really wanted to talk to you about this because I'm trying to get fitter. I've started doing kettlebell workouts probably about a year ago. I've been doing them off and on, but I need like a swift kick in the butt. And I want you to tell me like all your fitness advice. Like for somebody, well, really, first off, hang on, let's rewind a little bit. What got you really into the whole fitness side of things and sharing that online?
So, I like high school me, middle school me, hated PE class. I was not an active girly. I would like not do sports because I didn't want to have to do the conditioning. Like, no, thank you. We used to have this thing in like what was it, 10th grade? We had cardio Wednesdays. We'd either do like Insanity with Sean T, or we'd run like 3 miles in our class period. It was the worst, literally the worst thing for me. So the fact that I work out on a regular basis now and like talk about fitness is wild. But I went to college and really kind of started struggling with my mental health a little bit more, and kind of that dynamic of like I have all this free time and then you have like the party crowd and you like just get grouped in to kind of fit in. And I just really started to struggle with my anxiety. And my doctor had always said, "Hey, like I think you should get into like try fitness. I think it would be good for you. It would be a good outlet." So I started and I would go to the gym and I'd try different things. And within a couple of weeks, I really started to notice that like I felt so much better. I would wake up not as anxious, or I'd have like an outlet if I had a bad day. So that brought about all of the passion for that. I quickly realized that like I like lifting weights, especially to really loud rock music. That is like my happy space. It's like zen for me, even though it's not zen when you hear it.
Hmm.
It's where I feel the most like, besides with cows, that's where I second best, where I feel the most at peace. So then I started just lifting more and figuring out that I really like to like build muscles and like feel pretty tough, And came over to the family farm, figured out that when I'm in shape and I work on my strength and I work on my mobility and my stability in my ankles and joints and stuff, it's actually a lot easier day to day.
Hmm.
And I can prevent injuries or bounce back from injuries a lot better. So, a little fun story here. I got taken out by a cow in March and dislocated my shoulder.
Ooh.
And when I went to the orthopedic guy, like afterwards, it was like a Thursday, and then it was like the next week I had to go to like the referral. He was like, "I don't know how you're here without it happening again. Like if I would have done this, I would have needed surgery immediately and torn like everything because I did a posterior one. So instead of like going forward, it was like janked.
Oh, okay.
Super rare." And he's like 99% of people would have torn their labrum and needed surgery and had an MRI immediately. And I could like 4 days later, I could do all this. It was a little like something's not 100% type of recovery, but not to the point that I couldn't move. And he's like, "The only reason that you do that is because you train and you take your stability and like your range of motion seriously." And that was like the biggest, like, okay, holy crap. Like, I work out for mental health first and foremost, but the fact that I dislocated my shoulder and 5 days later I'm back tagging calves and doing everything without limitations, like that was the biggest, like, okay, this is full circle moment. This is why I need to keep doing this and really like push my programs to other women in agriculture because it is the life. So that's the roundabout story of how I got into fitness. It's been quite the journey, obviously highs and lows, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome you were able to rebound so quickly because of that. And I feel like, I don't know, more people in ag need to be working on their fitness because that happens. I mean, so many, I don't know the statistics of it, but I mean, ag is one of the most like dangerous industries in there because everybody's getting hurt on the farm. And I mean, even when it comes to mental health, do you think more farmers should get into fitness because farmers are some of the most like mental health suffering individuals out there? Because it's, I mean, that's been something that's impacting the industry for a while.
I wish they would, to be honest. And I always say, like, you don't have to work out every single day for an hour. Like, even if you could go for a short walk at sunset after a long day, like, just to let that out, not have any phone, like, just walk and kind of let those thoughts do their thing, it helps a lot. I think, like, the younger generations are making a change with that. Like, I watch
Hmm.
my parents and I've seen them, like, have a bad back or, like, a bad knee or things like that. I do think we'll see a little bit of an improvement coming into the next generation when it comes to injury and also just like prioritizing things other than the farm because that's a huge disconnect. I think that's the majority of our issue, to be honest. But the mental health piece of it, to have a way to like relieve stress in
Hmm.
agriculture, so many of us don't have hobbies outside of farming. And I am so guilty of this. But to do something, outside of it to disconnect, to get away from work. Like regular people that have 9 to 5s, they have a weekend where they don't work. We don't in agriculture usually. Like unless you're one of those farmers that takes off Sundays every, every single week, all of that jazz, you do have that day, but the majority of us, we don't. So what are we going to do something outside of our industry that fills our cup, as cliche as it sounds, that actually is a way to reduce our stress? Because most people don't have an outlet for that. Or they like go to the bar, or they, add to their farm fun. So what does that look like for you? Fitness can be a piece of that.
Yeah, that's true. When it comes to, I know you're like we've talked about, your schedule's busy. Most farmers' schedules are busy. How can you work fitness into your busy schedule?
Well, one, early mornings are fantastic if you're a morning person. I am not. I really love like a really like afternoon treat. So sometimes like over my lunch or like shortly after, I'll try to do something quick or in the evening. But honestly, it's as simple as like if we schedule appointments for ourselves, like you schedule a vet appointment, you commit to that. You're there. If you have to go to your banker, you're there. It's not as often, but if you schedule it into your day and commit to it, it's much more doable and you're going to show up for it. Like, I don't know where the disconnect is, and I'm guilty of it too, of like, we just don't prioritize ourselves. And you just like let that go out the window. The more you do that, everything else takes an impact. You're stressed out. You don't have patience. You're more susceptible to injury. Maybe you get a little snappy with your family, your employees. Things break because you're not, checking on stuff. It's this like revolving door of trickling effect at the same time. So I think
Yeah,
also split into your day is a huge thing that can be beneficial, whatever that looks like for you.
that's a really good idea. I'm really guilty of scheduling it, be like, yeah, I'll get to it, but then I just skip it and then skip it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it next week, and next week becomes next month and all that stuff. But yeah, no, and I've started to follow a bunch of people on Instagram that specifically do like kettlebell workouts, and like even just seeing that when I get on Instagram, I'm reminded like, oh, I need to go work out. I need to go do this. So even just like following like-minded people on Instagram is a really good inspiration for that.
And setting timers on your phone too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Hmm.
us scroll on social media for a very long time. Even the older generation. My dad, the amount of Facebook memes and like recipes he sends me all the time, I'm like, or like whatever he does at night, I'm like, you could do so many. Like, there's obviously it's there for a reason. It's a way to relax. Social media is a way to like get out, but lots of us will get stuck doom scrolling for an hour and a half.
Hmm.
I have a timer set on Instagram, and I like that's my business. Like I get paid to show up there, right? I still have a timer. It's set at an hour and a half every single day, and then I'm like, nope, won't see that anymore. Or I have my phone automatically go to do not disturb at 8:30 every night. That way, I'm not hanging out on it. Those things can also help you go commit to XYZ, whether it's going to a workout, going for a walk, going to an activity you enjoy, shooting range, whatever that looks like. Like, it doesn't have to be workouts in your basement. It can be other things that are active that are a stress reliever for you too.
Yeah. Yeah. Using timers is a really smart one. I've started to use the, I forget what it is. It's like the blockout feature on iPhone where you like time out what social media apps you're using or whatever. And I've started to use that more and more. And it's really nice. Like it'll pop up and you can be like, oh, hey, I can use it for 1 more minute or 15 more minutes or just snooze it for the day. But I'll be like, yeah, 1 more minute. And then it pops up again and you're like, all right, I'm done. I need to go
You
do
get like a
something.
guilty feeling where you're like, okay, breaking my own rules, I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, okay, I've hit the 15 more minutes button like 15 times. I should
Yeah.
probably get off my phone at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to building like a fitness program, what advice would you have for somebody that, they want to follow something that's really beneficial, but they don't know where to begin? Because there's so much stuff. I mean, there's like, oh, I need to do a push pull day. I can do CrossFit. I can do this. Like, what advice would you give for somebody wanting to like get started in like some sort of program?
I would say two things. Try different stuff out. Like, see what you like. If I had a local CrossFit gym, I think I would thrive 100%. I don't. I'd have to drive an hour, and like realistically
Mm,
with my life, that's not going to happen. It would be so fun. I think like just from my nature of like wanting to do things that make me feel really strong and like independent, I would thrive. Or like a kickboxing class, that'd be my jam. But don't have that option. So try things, go from there, see what you think. Do you like running? Give it a shot for a week or two. Do you like long walks at night instead? Try some different like lifting things. There's lots of free workouts out there you can try and see what you like before you maybe commit to a program with someone or create your own. there are a lot of really great trainers out there too. Like, don't feel like it's not worth investing in your health, especially if you're very new to lifting.
Mm.
It's a huge benefit to train with someone or have videos or guidance to how to set up your own program and even how to have correct form. The other thing, after you try some things out and figure out what you want, is to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to do all these fancy new moves that you see all the time, these fancy new challenges. Like, squats are still a thing for a reason. Rows are still a thing for a reason. Like, your basic movements that you do every single day, those are going to make the biggest impact in you. So I always talk about my program being like realistic to what I do every day. And I want to make a video someday of like why a squat's important, and then show like me squatting to pick something up at the farm. Why pulling movements are important. Well, when you pull on things for equipment or whatever that looks like, if you know how to properly engage your core, this is why. So don't feel like you have to do all these like fancy moves and change it up all the time and all that jazz, because those basic foundational moves are there for a reason. And there's no program that's like dead set on being the best over another. So whether you do like, in my program, I bounce around a little bit between like a push, a pull, and then 2 leg days. Or we do like upper body, lower body, full body with some cardio. We kind of mix it up, but it's still going to be the same moves throughout the week. You're just getting a different split to keep it fun and fresh. So don't stress about what the words say per se. It's how you feel and how it like makes sense in your day-to-day life.